it's Mrs. Evans and I'm here today to share with you from my garden how to make one of these cute little mice. I promise you, it's so easy. Okay, to make the mouse's body, we're going to need some material. Not everybody has material lying around the house, but you may have maybe an old t-shirt, an old pillowcase, or even an old tea towel. Just make sure you ask your parents' permission first. For the mouse's body, we're going to need a round piece of material like this. So to get that, you could either draw around maybe a piece of sellotape, or maybe a beaker, or even a cup. Use this cup. I'm going to put it to the edge of the material so that we're not wasting material. Then, with a pen, you need to draw around the cup. All the way round. Like that. We need to cut out this circle. So using a pair of scissors, again asking for permission if you need to, or even some help from your parents, cut as close as you can to the line. Don't rush, take plenty of time doing it. So you get a circle like that. We need to fold this circle in half and push down along the fold like that. Before we start sewing things together, we also need to make some ears for the mouse. So we're going to need a rectangle or square piece of material like this, and we're going to fold it again in half like this. We're then, using our pen, going to draw on some ears. Just how you want them. Then we need to cut out those ears. Because the material's folded, we only need to do this once. There we have it. 2 ears. So our mouse up, we need to get some thread. So thread your needle and then remember to tie a knot at the end. We then need to start sewing our mouse's body. We start at one end and we're going to sew about 1/3 of the way along. We're going to use a running stitch. So this is a running stitch where you go over, through your material, making sure you get both sides, and then you come back up from the other side, and again down through the next one. Try not to make your stitches too big, because you'll see why later with the stuffing coming out, otherwise the stuffing will come out. When you get to about 1/3 of the way, we need to bring in the ears. So we place the ears in between the 2 pieces of material, like that. And then we continue our running stitch, making sure that we are now sewing through the ears as well. Again, you might want a little help from your parents with this, but it is quite an easy stitch, so hopefully you'll be able to do it. Okay, so you continue with your running stitch to just over halfway. Oops. Then you need to stop your sewing for now and tie a knot in your thread. And this will stop it coming undone. like that. We're now going to actually start to stuff our mouse. So we're going to either use some actual soft toy stuffing, but if you haven't actually got any of that, you could use some maybe makeup pads or even some wool or even an old sock, but make sure it's clean first. I'm going to use this soft toy stuffing to stuff my mouse with. So you open up the back where we haven't sewn up and you push your stuffing or sock or cotton wool or whatever you've got available into your mouse, right through. You can make your mouse as soft or as firm as you like. And then once you think you've got enough stuffing inside your mouse, like that, we are then going to continue to sew up our mouse and add, of course, his tail. To make our mouse's tail, we could either use some ribbon that you might have lying around the house. You could cut a very thin strip of the material that you're already using for your mouse's ears and body, or you could plait some wool together like I've done here to make the tail. Okay, so we're going to continue sewing up our mouse and also including sewing in the tail. So first of all, we obviously need to tie that knot back in our thread or wool that you're doing your sewing with, like that. And then we start our running stitch again, and we're going to go all the way to the end. But just before the end, we need to obviously feed in our tail. I've chosen to use the plaited wool version, but again, you could use whatever you have to hand for your mouse's tail. So I'm just nearly at the end now, so I'm going to put my mouse's tail in between the material again, so that when I sew the material together, I'm going to remember to sew the tail through the tail as well. Once you get to the end of your sewing and to the end of your mouse, you then need to obviously tie a knot again in your thread to secure, like that. And then if you trim off any excess bits just slightly above the knot. And there we have the mouse with its tail on. But of course, our mouse needs some eyes. For the mouse's eyes, we could either use some buttons, which you may find lying around the house, or if you're lucky enough to maybe have some sequins from a craft set that you've got, or even some googly eyes. Or if you wanted to, you could just draw on the eyes. I'm gonna, I think, use some buttons. So I'm gonna choose this one and see if I've got one similar. Yeah, I'm gonna use those two. So I'm just going to stick them on using some glue. So stick one on that side, and then I'm going to stick one on that side and hold them down firmly for a few seconds just to make sure. There you have it, one cute mouse. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have fun making these as much as I do. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.